Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the 2025 KungFu Cup number 4 StarCraft Evolution Edition. I'm of course host VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chats, and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all. I do apologize for the downtime. I do apologize for the extended delays here. We've been live or waiting for almost 2 hours. Do apologize, but the show will go on. The show will go on. I do apologize, but hopefully we're able to get things going and we're able to catch up on everything that's been going on. Now, for those that are curious, KungFu Cup did take place over a week ago at this point. We've been trying to find some time here to cover these events, to cover these matches. As you imagine, as you I'm sure know, our schedule has been very jam-packed here, casting twice a day, every single day, morning and evening. And now we have finally found some time to cover these matches, to go over the KungFu Cup. Let us go. For those that are curious, KungFu Cup has been around for many years at this point, but in this most recent year, this most recent season, we have been featuring some StarCraft Evolution and some Warcraft Evolution as well. Basically, especially now that WTL is on an extended hiatus and may never return at this point, it's really cool to see SC Boys stepping into the ring and having a little bit more fun with their weekly tournaments. Whether it's with Warcraft 3 Evolution or StarCraft Evolution, they've been investing quite a lot of time and quite a lot of effort into it as well. So big shout out to SC Boy, big shout out to the admin team alongside them, as they have kindly provided replays to us as well. Unfortunately, when it comes to these events, they do occur Wednesday evenings, and at the time of this event we were covering the Rex March Madness. Did coincide with the Rex March Madness, so we were covering that instead, but now we're here to catch up. Let's go. We're here to catch up. Everyone is ready. Hope everyone is excited. Our first series here going to be a best of 3 between Dark and F91. Speaking of SC Boy, F91 is one of the main casters and content creators over at SC Boy, a very passionate StarCraft personality in the Chinese scene and the Chinese community, and he also, I believe, did actually start his career as a player, not a caster, many years ago in, I want to say, Warcraft 3, maybe in Brood War as well. I'm sure a lot of history is there with F91 and Xiao Se alongside the Brood War and Warcraft 3 community. I'm sure that's a big reason as to why they are getting involved and why they're jumping into the ring. So really cool to see F91 playing once again after so long. Do appreciate. Here we go. Just catching up. StarCraft Evo is by far one of the most interesting StarCraft things happening right now. I mean, I would agree. I mean, personally, I do really enjoy StarCraft 2. To me, there's no replacement to that. But I would say that StarCraft Evolution is really refreshing. I would say that that's caught my attention more than the other RTSs. I'm referring to Zero Space, Stormgate, referring to Battle Aces as well. Like, these are games that haven't really caught my attention too much, not yet. And StarCraft Evolution has really, it's just been refreshing. Just been a lot of fun. For sure, at least that's my perspective, at least my perspective. Warcraft 3 Evolution is different. Warcraft 3 Evolution is definitely fascinating and intriguing to look at. It's a lot of fun. It's entertaining, I will say that. we always have a lot of fun with Warcraft 3 Evolution, and we'll get there eventually in the coming weeks. For now, though, we're jumping into our first matchup. We're jumping into our first series here, Dark and F91. Let's go. Let us go. I wish StarCraft Evo has a ladder. It does have a ladder, actually. It does have a ladder, but you do have to jump through a couple of hoops here. Shout out to, again, those working behind the scenes, just because I put in a lot of work into StarCraft Evolution and into their ladder system as well. They do have a ladder, by the way, so yeah, do check that out. It is new. It is a new feature. I should say the ladder is in like testing mode right now, and they released their ladder, I want to say, back in February, like end of January coming to February is when they released their ladder. So technically there is one. But again, it is like in a more like beta phase. Meanwhile, we're jumping in and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines. We have our Chinese Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing SC Boy. It is F91. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Brood War Terran player, not Zerg. He's the main Zerg, but he is here as Terran. It is Dark. Let us go. Now for some context, some of you might be watching, for some of you might be regulars here on the channel, maybe thinking, hold up, didn't you have like a farewell show match with Dark over the weekend? That is true, we did. These matches did take place before that kind of farewell show match that we had for Dark. So this is, again, this is a little bit dated in a sense by a week. So this is before that farewell show match that we did, that did take place over the weekend. For now, though, we are going to be settling in. Now, if you've been watching Dark in StarCraft Evolution, you know a couple of different things. One, you'll know that Dark is the best Zerg player in StarCraft Evolution, 100%. When I think of the hierarchy in StarCraft Evolution, I think of the top Protosses being Classic being the top Protoss. I think Dark is the best Zerg. And when I think of Terran, I do think of Spirit. Spirit is the best Terran player in StarCraft Evolution. Those are kind of like the trifecta so far that have been getting a lot of success. In saying that, though, because of Dark's upcoming retirement, I'm sure that's a part of it. Dark, he has been playing a lot of random. He's been playing a lot of random instead. Here, he has chosen to play Terran. If you remember, it was a couple of weeks ago at this point, Dark, he did play exclusively Terran in the StarCraft Evolution King of the Hill number 1. I think he also played some Protoss there as well. Like Dark, he has been having a lot of fun off racing. He's been off racing instead. He's been devoting a little bit less time playing purely Zerg. Here we go. This has been a very popular build so far here amongst Brood War Terran players. This should be 3 rack stim timing. So far, only 2 racks, so this is not the most common variation of this, but this does hit like a truck. As you can see already, medics are on the way. This is what is different between StarCraft Evolution and StarCraft 2, is that these 2-on-1, like quote-unquote, like SE2 2-on-1 stim timings, they hit harder and faster here in Brood War because you do not need a starport for support. Already medics are on the way and Marines are moving out, so the initial bunker is going to be denied, so Dark is going to be deflected initially, but we have Firebats on the way as well. Firebats do so well supporting, so well dealing with all these lings, and we'll see if F91 can survive this essentially one base all in. Now Dark is expanding behind this. He does have a CC on the way, but Dark is committing. He is moving out right now. F91 massing up lings here on 3 bases, does have 3 hatcheries, but it's going to be pure ling to defend. Oh, it's going to be slow lings actually. Yeah, slow lings to hold on. Bailing Nest is on the way. Bailing Speed just began, so late gases here for F91. Yeah, very greedy build. I'm pretty sure F91, he went for a 3rd hatch before gas. Ay. So very greedy. Dark, he's going for the Queen. A bunker did complete. We have a backup bunker on the way, slowly pushing forward. Queen goes down. Lings, they do try to engage. Once again, though, they're going to be zoned away. Again, still no Ling speed. Once again, going for the Queen. Oh my god, another Queen goes down. Massive pickup. He gets 1, gets 2, gets all 3 Queens. And the Lings, they melt. The Lings, they melt. GG gets called as this snowballs out of control, and Dark will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Was this show match pre-latest SC Evo patch? Yes, it was. For those that are curious, as to what's going on, last week there was a patch in StarCraft Evolution, which we covered over the podcast. And do you know what got nerfed? This build. I say this build, bio in general in StarCraft Evolution did get nerfed. If you're curious what exactly the patch was, I do recommend checking out the patch notes, but the patch specifically nerfed the power of the medic. The medic now in the latest patch, not in this tournament, but a future after this event, after this tournament, the medic now has, I believe its healing rate has been reduced, so it has less healing, and likewise the HP of the medic was reduced as well. But in general, and that did affect like bio in general in Brood War for StarCraft Evolution, just because again these early stim timings, whether it's 2 rack stim, 3 racks as well, they hit so hard and so fast as well, more so than usual, and yeah, it can be quite difficult to deal with. Not impossible, but difficult is what I should emphasize here. It's not like everyone was dying to it, but it was just, again, a lot more strenuous to deal with that kind of timing, with that kind of push. And here we go, we're jumping into game number 2. Jumping into game 2. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Sylphid, we have our... Oh, I should fix up his name. We have our Chinese Zerg player. We have our Red Zerg from land of China. Oh, representing SC Boy, it is F91. And spawning in the top side of Sylphid, we have the South Korean Terran player. Usually is Zerg, but now he is off racing as Terran. It is Dark. As the roles have been reversed, Dark is playing SE2 Terran and F91 is playing Brood War Zerg. Here we go. And again, welcome one all to Sylphid. Sylphid is a 3-player spawn map. You can spawn in bottom left, bottom right, or top side as well. So there's a little bit of RNG when it comes to scouting, when it comes to early game aggression. We'll see if Dark once again goes for a 2-1-1. For now, going for the racks at the natural. Already looks like a 2-racks Reaper build. So we'll see if Dark does have some fun with 2-racks Reaper. Now, when it comes to, we'll see if Reapers get involved. When it comes to these older Brood War maps, something to bear in mind, no Reaper Cliff. There's no Reaper Cliff coming into the main base. We have a full wall here covering the main, protecting the main base specifically, so Reapers are going to be a non-factor. This is also a balance thing as well, just because, as you can imagine, Brood War Zerg players have no queens. They have no queens, so defensively they are weaker. They have to rely a lot more on choke points. They have to rely on these choke points, have to rely on their spine callers, I should say sunken colonies as well, and the first Reapers on the way. It's going to be Racks Expand. Economic opener here out of Dark. Not going to Rex Reaper. Likewise, across the map, we do have F91 going for his own hatch gas pool. So standard opener out of F91 going for a macro hatch as well. Now, macro hatcheries are a lot more common here in StarCraft Evolution. The reason for this is because, as I just mentioned, there are no queens, there are no injects, so you do require macro hatcheries here a lot more commonly as the Brood War Zerg player. So we're getting up to our first macro hatch. Typically, we see another macro hatch here to help wall off, to help kind of wall off this location, and then a third base. Just to keep up with that larva. Meanwhile, Link speed is on the way. We can see F91, he doesn't pull out a gas. So with this, he can go from Lings into Ling Hydra. He can also go into a faster lair as well, and potentially even go into a Spire. But now, Dark does dip in. Gets a drone kill. One drone does go down. Good start here for Dark. And you can see F91, he has to reinforce. Does move in. Dark once again dancing with those Lings. Ling speed still a non-factor. And behind this, Dark is just getting to his own factory follow-up. So nothing too crazy, just racks into CC, into factory. Oh, it's going to be a 1-1-1. Okay, Dark is being aggressive here. Now, typically, we'd be seeing a third command center by now, but no, Dark, he's going for a straight-up 1-1-1. He's going to be building up his Hellions initially. This can go into Hellion Banshee. Can even head into a different direction, Hellion Viking, Hellion Liberator. We'll see what is done with that starport. For now, Dark is moving in. Dark, he's just, again, punishing those Lings. Ling speed is about to kick in. We have our third base on the way for F91. And he's rushing into the lair. Very fast lair here for F91. Now, this is a lair, and there is no Hydrogen yet. So, I mentioned earlier that we could be seeing Spire play. This could be the beginning of that. This could be the beginning of a Spire and Muta play out of F91. We could just see maybe a delayed Hydrogen into Lurker Tech, I suppose. But again, we should have seen a Hydrogen by now. I'm leaning towards Mutas. Again, for those that are curious, Hydras are hatch tech. So if this was Hydra tech, we would already see it. Like, if it was going to be Hydras, we'd already see a Hydrogen. That's why I'm leaning towards Mutas instead. Hellions, they dip in. They do roast up a couple of those Lings. Oh, they avoid this round. Coming in for the dive. Yeah, not bad. Does around, does catch out those Hellions. At least tries to, but Dark, he slips away. Oh, brutal volley is going to be going off, and before we can even talk about the lair, these Hellions, they've broken through. They're going to be able to overwhelm. This was also greedy by F91. I mentioned something earlier. How do you defend early on here as Zerg? Sunken colonies. You need those sunken colonies here. You need that side defense, and we saw nothing. And the game may just end. The game may just end here and now. F91 being punished for potentially inexperience. There's the Spire. It was going to be Mutas, as we mentioned, but too greedy. It's far too greedy here. Zero side defense, and with that, drones are going to be going down. Dark, he got a full scout of the bases. The Liberator has Rydell's Hellion into Lib, into a Stim. Timing a Stim is on the way. And F91, he's struggling. He is struggling to survive, struggling to hold on. He is getting roasted. Oof. Oh, yeah. And yeah, there's no stopping this. There's no stopping this. Every worker is going to go down. We have Lings counter-attacking across the map, but there's a full wall. And with that, Dark, he's perfectly safe and sound. He's safe and sound back at home. Finally, the Hellions, they cleaned up. Finally, they go down. Liberator is still wreaking havoc. There's no anti-air. There's zero anti-air here for F91. There's no answer. GG gets called, and Dark, he will claim the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played, Dark. He will claim the series. Again, a strong performance here out of Dark. F91, it does look like he is a little bit inexperienced when it comes to StarCraft Evolution, just because of his overall build. As I mentioned, it is very, very common. If you watch players like Shin, like even Dark, alongside 3Point and all the other top Zerg players in StarCraft Evolution, you do need SimCity, you do need to wall off. Again, it's a very different dynamic. You don't often need SimCity and walls in StarCraft 2, but in Brood War you do need to in a way wall off and set up your site defense. You do need to rely on those sunken colonies, otherwise you'll be broken. Otherwise you will be broken early on. GG. GG, well played. But a shout out to F91. Shout out to F91 for competing. Again, he is mainly a caster nowadays. He's not really too much of a competitor. I know he is Masters in SE2, and I appreciate that he does step into the ring here, so much love. Much love to F91, as now he can go back to the casting couch. GG. GG, well played. Dark, will advance on into the next round, but we do have another round of 16 match ready for us here. We did mention earlier, when it comes to the top players in StarCraft Evolution, the top of each race, who are they? Dark, Classic, and Spirit. Those are the top three. And who do we feature? Up next, Classic. Classic versus DeWalt in a PvP. Let's go. Let us go. SEL casters went. Yo, if we have a caster invitational for StarCraft Evolution, that'd be amazing. Who would count as a caster in StarCraft Evolution? Who casts? I mean, I say that, I feel like it's going to be dominated by Kiwian and the STC, right? Like, maybe I'm overrating them, but 100%, like, thinking about the casters in StarCraft Evolution, like, I feel like no contest, like, Kiwian and the STC, they will dominate. Like, oh my, it's going to be crazy. But, yeah, I definitely put them above all the others.